I haven't heard about any programming interview where they don't ask you about data structure. In this video, I'm going to tell you what is data structure and why are they so important. When you're building a home, you need certain building blocks and raw materials such as bricks, wooden planks to build your furniture, metal rods, etc. On top of that, you apply the instructions for building home and you get a home as a result. Similarly, when you're building a software application, you need raw building blocks, which are basically your data structures such as array, linked list, tree, etc. On top of that, you apply the code instructions which operates on those data structures, and as a result, you get a software application. So basically, data structures are building blocks or raw material for any software program, and one cannot become a good programmer without the sound understanding of data structure. And the reason is you need to use right data structure for a given problem. For example, if you are building a window and if you start building a window using bricks, that's not going to be good. You have to use wooden material. So as a software engineer, your role is to pick the right data structure for a right problem. Here I have visual representation of certain data structures, such as at the top I have an array, this one is linked list, and there is a tree. And these data structures are nothing but the containers of storing data in a specific memory layout. For example, you want to represent Apple's stock price for 5 days. And you want to ask questions to your program such as what was my price on day 1 and what was my price on day 3. So here you only care about sequence, okay? You're caring about day 1 versus day 2 versus day 3. In this case, you can write a simple Python program which looks like this, which stores the stock prices in a list, and you can access that list using the index operator, and you can get a price on a certain day. But let's say your problem is something like you want to store stock prices along with the dates. And the question you're asking to your software program is, what was the price on a given date? In this case, it makes sense to use a dictionary where you can access the specific price on a day by using the dictionary key. So you can see that I used two different data structure, which was a list and a dictionary, which is actually a hash map behind the scene. I use these two data structure to solve two different problems. So it depends on what kind of problem you are solving. Based on that, you need to pick a right data structure. Now, if you look at the memory layout of both of these data structures for an array, it looks something like this, where the numbers are stored in a contiguous memory locations. And when I say memory, I'm referring to a RAM. In case of dictionary, it uses hash map as a data structure behind the scene. And the way hash map works is you have a key on which you apply a hash function, which will give you an address of a bucket. And using that address, now you access a given element. This way you get order of 1 complexity for your search, and your search is really fast. Now, if you are not good in data structures, you might end up using array for problem number 2 on right hand side, and it will work, but the program will not be as efficient. It will be hard to read and it will incur technical debt. Hence, programming is art as well as science, and the art skills you will develop as a programmer as you gain more in-depth understanding of data structures. So if you are becoming a data scientist, data analyst, or a programmer, it is very important that you have a good understanding of data structures. Here I have outlined some of the common data structure implementation in different languages. So remember that data structures is a conceptual thing. Different programming languages implement data structures in different ways. For example, Python has a list as an implementation of array data structure. In Java, arrays are implemented in two different ways. One is native array, which is a static array, and array list, which is a dynamic array. And we'll talk about static and dynamic arrays in the next tutorial. In C++ also there is native array as well as std vector. Similarly, for hash table also, you can see on the screen different implementation in different languages. So I hope it gives you some understanding on what data structures are. In this tutorial series, I'm going to cover many data structures and their internals. I'm going to cover arrays, stack, queue, hash map trees, etc. So make sure you watch it. And again, let me repeat myself. You cannot become a good programmer without the sound understanding of data structures. It is like if you're playing cricket and if you don't know how to hold a bat, you can still play it, but you won't become a good batsman. And this is the reason why in every single programming interview, they ask you about data structures. All right. So if you have any question, please post in a comment below. Also, let me know what is your most favorite data structure.